The new dark rom-com, The Drama, stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson as a happily awkward couple just days away from their wedding.
But during a double date with their besties, played by Mamadou Ache and Alana Haim, a fun little game of confess your worst sin goes completely left.
And yes, we will talk about all the discourse that is hitting the timeline already. I know some of y'all been feeling away about how race shows up or doesn't in this film.
Listen, my spirit was troubled the entire time because, quite frankly, the math just ain't mathing. And you know, the way my mind is set up and how I watch movies, this one left me with 1,000,001 questions. Like, where are the rest of the black people? Why on earth is this insufferable white woman your maid of honor? Why are y'all finalizing menus and flowers 3 business days before the wedding? And somebody, please, for the love of God, tell me what the hell skin contact wine is. Anyway, it's movie day. I'm Ray Love Jr.
And I'm Tre'vell Anderson.
And we are Seated, the blackest show about movies.
Yes. Welcome back. Okay, for those of you all who are rejoining us. And if you're new here, okay, grab a plate, grab a seat. We don't bite. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about this fabulous show here.
Yes, do that right now. Go ahead and tap that like button, tap that subscribe button, share this with a friend before you even listen, because we're going to give you some of this good popcorn-worthy content. And while you're at it, go on over and tap into our Seated Movie Club at seatedshow.com/join, where we're going to bring you more of this popcorn-worthy energy with exclusive content and maybe a little something extra over there down on the platform.
You gave us a little Mr. Christy Dome there. I don't know if you...
Keep me focused, child. You know I will go off the rail.
This why y'all gotta be tuned into the YouTube, okay? Because you're missing some things, all right? Okay, so before we dive into today's review of The Drama, we're gonna do our Fresh Out segment where we share small reactions to other movies that we have been checking out. We've been on a little break. Seated has, and so Ray, I know that means that you have been all up and through the cinema, okay? And you got a lot for us.
I have been having a good time, honey. Run through what Megan Thee Stallion say? Run through your man house like a Tomb Raider. I have been in these people theaters just watching anything I could get my hands on. And there have actually been some pretty good movies that have been hitting the block these last 2 weeks.
Okay.
I have a few this week, so I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible and give you my quick recommendation, because I think a few of these are worth seeing and maybe 1 or 2 of them are not. So first up is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, did you see the first one? This is the sequel to the one that came out a few years ago. Well, this one, of course, returns with all the characters. Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy are back and taking this thing to the stars. Like, take it to the moon, take it to the stars.
Oh.
But it's Donald Glover as Yoshi and Brie Larson as Princess Rosalina that really have the internet acting up. Like, so essentially... Instead of Princess Peach being like the central princess here, it's Princess Rosalina. And it's just mayhem and like a bunch of fast, colorful scenes that I think kids will love. It's not that heavy of a plot, but again, it's a kids movie. So it's like, if you got a kid, take the kids to the movie, go see it. I recommend it. Tre'vell, you can skip it. I know you're sick of animated movies.
And that is why we did not cover it on this here Seated, okay? Because leave me out of it, okay? Yeah. Get it away from me. But okay, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, you said it's a recommendation for the young people.
Yeah,
for
if you got kids. But if you're an adult who don't care about cartoons and don't have like a nostalgic affinity for Mario, skip it.
You said let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Okay.
The next one on my list is They Will Kill You. Now, Tre'vell, I already know you're not one for like the goriness of it all, but this one has a black lead in our girl Zazie Bates. And Patricia Arquette is also the big boss villain in this. And they're giving us pure survival realness and like this wild horror comedy about a high-rise hotel kind of place where the neighbors are definitely not love thy neighbor types, speaking of which we just had Easter, so you know. But it's a lot of satanist imagery.
See, now hold on.
Right. And
hold on.
Essentially eternal or demons you can't kill vibes. I'll just say that without giving too much away. And the goriness is along the lines of like a Kill Bill vibe. As a matter of fact, like there are a lot of like Kill Bill type of framing.
That's the vibe I got from the trailer. It made me want to see it. I do kind of want to see it, but you're right. I'm gonna have to see it through my fingers.
Yeah, watch it through your fingers. But it was fun. Like this was, of the three I'm talking about this week, this was the most fun I had of all of these three films.
Okay, Zazie
I recommend it. Yes, this is my girl.
Okay.
And y'all may know her from Atlanta. She was damn, I forget her character name in Atlanta, but she was the baby mama of sorts, I guess.
Yes. Yes. She also was in The Harder They Fall.
She was. I love that movie. I'm so glad.
Stagecoach Mary.
I got to see that on the big screen, and I'm so glad I did, because it was one of those Netflix streaming movies that I would have definitely missed, but the cast was just like chef's kiss. Anyway,
well,
last but not least,
you got one more. You said
one more. My fresh out is Project Hail Mary. Tre'vell, have you heard anything about this?
I just know that this got the Notebook Man in it.
Yes, the Notebook Man being Ryan Gosling. Yes. He's out here playing a scientist with a serious case of amnesia. And while Sandra Hüller is holding it down on Earth, he's basically humanity's like last hope for not going extinct. Think Interstellar, but like much more movie. Comical. It is a space movie.
Okay.
It's a space movie with a puppet character,
not a puppet.
creature character, I'll say, that is animated through puppetry. Yeah. The film bros love this one. I found it a bit drowsy in like the second act. The part that people love is the part that I could have done without personally. So I'm leaning more on like the stream it side of things. But I mean, if this is your kind of fare, sure, go be seated, join the conversation with the film bros, and have at it, have a good time. And those are all the three that I think are worth mentioning this week in Fresh Out. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm so glad that, us not doing the show for a couple weeks gave you time to, chillax in the theater. Yes. But now we are back, beautiful people. Okay, so we are going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the drama.
Yes. In Kristoffer Borgli's The Drama, Zendaya plays a woman whose dark past threatens her impending marriage to a clumsy British museum director played by Robert Pattinson. As the two lovers desperately try to salvage their chaotic relationship before the wedding, they must navigate a highly judgmental maid of honor played by Alana Haim and a peacemaking best man played by Mamadou Ache.
You have to stop thinking about it.
Can't just say stop thinking.
So you are thinking about it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I am thinking about it now.
How can you even trust her?
You're being incredibly hypocritical.
I never said he was mentally disabled.
Yes, you did. You said he was slow.
Produced by Ari Aster, the film is playing in theaters now and will stream first on HBO because of A24's exclusive Pay One deal with the streaming service, which basically means HBO Max subscribers will have access to A24 films when the movie first becomes available to stream, yada, 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 all of that movie business talk. But Tre'vell, let's kick off the conversation by, of course, giving the director some. So share with the people a little bit of what you may know about this film director this week.
Yeah, so this is both written and directed by this Kristoffer fellow that you mentioned, who is Norwegian. Going into the movie, that's pretty much all I knew was that it was some white guy doing this movie. I didn't even know that he was foreign. And when I'm thinking about kind of my top line thoughts, and we should say we're gonna start with a kind of spoiler free, gauge of how we were feeling about the film, and then we will transfer into some spoilers because my God, the discourse, okay, and we got preguntas. We just got preguntas and thoughts, okay. And so my initial thoughts, I will say, is that I actually really enjoyed the movie. I had a good time.
Same.
I had a good time. I was in a press screening, which usually isn't the kind of experience where you get to have a communal experience, because it'd be a whole bunch of old white men and stuff, and don't nobody want to laugh, don't nobody want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a very different experience because of the kind of dark comedy that is central to this film. And as I said on Pop Culture Happy Hour, this was a movie that I really wanted to watch. I think that we wanted to kick back off our relaunch with because it has a beautiful Black woman lead. And so I came for Zendaya, but I actually ended up staying for Robert Pattinson because this is his movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll leave it there. What were your kind of initial thoughts?
Full transparency, this film was not going to be our return episode. It was added to the calendar, and I was like, all right, we got to come back a week earlier. I was trying to give myself an extra week off, give us a little time to get into spring break. But as soon as I saw this was on the calendar, I said, all right, we're coming back a week early because Zendaya is in a lead role. And, when I have a Black lead, that is high priority for me, especially Zendaya. She is like one of my top actresses at the time. It's her and Danielle Deadwater that I will always be seated for in a box office film. And I had such a good time with this movie. I had no idea what the plot even was because, I'm not a trailer person, but I've let myself start watching teaser trailers now because I find that the teaser trailers are typically less spoiler filled and a bit more compact so I can digest those. And so I watched this teaser trailer, wasn't able to decipher a thing. I didn't know what the hell this movie was about.
Yeah.
I left that theater as the credits rolled thrilled. My initial, I post my instant reaction to movies on my Instagram stories. And I walked out I wish we got more movies like this in theaters. It's, I think, a small story, but also a story with whimsy and mess and I guess a point of view that I found really interesting. And I ended up seeing this movie thrice during opening weekend. So I went Thursday night, which is the pre-opening, I guess. I went Friday night, and then I went Sunday afternoon. I took my little sister with me to see this. I actually missed the press screening that I got invited to because it was happening while I was traveling. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just see this with a normal crowd and get to see how this lands on people. And when I tell you, the people in the audience were hella reactive. They were all audible with their reactions and moments. And Tre'vell, I realized that I have a dark humor too, because I was laughing at moments in the theaters that left me feeling not out of place, but should I
You're
be
the
laughing at
problem.
this?
You're the problem. You're the problem. What the question? What do you say? Am I the asshole? Yes, you are.
Or like Cardi says, am I the drama?
The drama. Yes, you are. But that is why one of the things that I think is a reason why this film works.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear that us saying that we had a good time is not necessarily an endorsing of, the fullness of this full filmmaking, right? But it is speaking to a kind of film that is trying to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can discuss whether it is successful or not, or how successful it is at the thing that it is intending to do versus the other things that it is not intending to do that we as audience members might be hoping and looking for.
Tre'vell, I feel you are ready to get into this conversation.
We can.
Before we get to the spoiler-free side of things, who would you say the drama is made for?
Oh, who is the drama made for? I think the drama is made for... folks who like independent filmmaking. I don't, because it feels very small, right? I don't know what the numerical piece is, so I don't know if it actually was independent or not. I know A24 is behind it, as you mentioned, and their works often are, but it's a small film. It's an interesting dark rom-com, and if you are looking for work that challenges you as a viewer, or as a certain kind of viewer, I think this is a film that you might enjoy and also be, provoked by.
I'm with you. Like, that pretty much sums up who I would say this movie is for as well. And so let's go ahead and get into our spoiler-full conversation. So if you have not seen the film and you don't want the movie spoiled for you, please pause here, watch the movie, and come back and listen to what we have to say about the show. And I'm going to play a quick clip for y'all to get into before we jump into our spoiler-free conversation. Spoiler-filled conversation.
All right, so before we got married, we did this thing where we said the worst thing we've ever done.
Okay. I'll tell mine if we all do it. Promise?
What did you do?
This dog.
Beer bottles and porn.
You left him there overnight.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing I've ever done?
Okay,
Are you serious?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna order an Uber.
Emma, what the
All right, Tre'vell. So now that we're here, let's fully unpack this psychological thriller.
It's psychological. What?
Rom-com.
Please stop it. Please stop it. So here's the thing. I want to start by saying, and I have already said this, but I think it's a great place to start our conversation. Movies where they just put a black person or a number of black people into roles, but don't meaningfully contend with what having black people in those roles means, will always be difficult for me. Because that is what this film feels like. It feels like it was written for white people, and that a couple of folks of color, black people, were plopped in. Because Zendaya was cast, that means her daddy has to be black. That means such and such has to be black. Those kinds of things. But
Okay, I'm glad you started here because
I did.
I am wondering if whose responsibility is it here to craft the story to address this thing of like the character's very present and visible race here. And in this instance, our director is also the writer. So like all of these choices were intentional on both sides of the coin here. And I want to bring up a 2018 interview that Zendaya did with Janet Mock for her Marie Claire cover. I think they may have been promoting like, I don't know what movie was out around that time, but
2018, is that Euphoria?
Maybe it was Euphoria. But I recall her discussing the directive she gave to her agents to seek out roles for her that were written for white actresses as a way to, I guess, dismantle the system of sorts. I don't know if she was feeling typecast or what. I can't recall exactly what that was. But I think that wrinkle of information is interesting because Zendaya, we now have enough of her catalog to see that she has routinely played characters that are not driven by racial themes or conversations. What comes to mind, of course, is the most recent one, which I loved, which was Challengers. I don't know if you recall that one, but she was a black woman, but I don't recall race really being a thing addressed in that film. Child, the dogs are barking.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
But another thing that also comes to mind is her choosing to just like take up this space intentionally in a way that is, yes, for representation, but also makes me think like, how is this tool functioning, or is it benefiting us culturally to seemingly feels like ignore her race in these characters?
Well, I think so we should nail down more so and say that I think the racial aspect, there's some discourse out there that I feel like is articulating what I'm trying to articulate, which is just how certain things ring as inauthentic when not meaningfully addressed and incorporated into the story and into a story like this specifically. Versus there's the other side, which is I think trying to do something very different, or the motivation for the criticism comes from a different place. And so it is interesting to me that Zendaya's character is someone who, in answering that question of what's the worst thing she did or whatever, right? She's confesses that she planned the school shooting. Did not carry it out, did not execute it, but went up until. And now she has this hearing impairment as a result of that.
Yeah.
I found it interesting as a character element that it was a Black woman.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. Even though we know IRL, I feel like I can say this, but I do want to look it up. Black women don't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Black women don't do this.
I will admit that I did have deep thoughts on this the more I sat with it.
But I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah, we're recording this on a Monday after opening weekend. I mentioned I saw this 3 times, and I've really had some time to stew on this. And one of the things that I came away with is just the idea of when you put a Black face in a white space, it instantly becomes a commentary on race in today's society, right?
Sure, yes.
And instead of ignoring it, I think the best of writers or directors would engage with that truth that is sitting right in front of them. Whenever white people, and you know the kind, the ones who try to use the I don't see color defense whenever they're confronted with the idea of being racist or being discriminatory, and that defense never really holds up to me, because as a Black man whose identity has been unavoidable in what is this supposed post-racial America, it feels like you are actually not a safe space for me to exist within. And it makes me feel like you're wanting to ignore my skin color in a way that kind of undermines or dismisses my lived experience. And when I watch this character Emma in what is a very white space, it makes me question, how did she get here? And these are all things that we don't really dig into. Instead, we're using all of these flashbacks of her as a child, which I will say, them flashbacks were very tonally, I don't know why, but I was this feels more like Degrassi in Canada than it does Louisiana in the Deep South, where the early 2000s.
Was it supposed to be Louisiana in the Deep South?
Yes, explicitly she explained while she's explaining to while Emma's explaining to Charlie.
You don't gotta go deep into it. You just say yes. I believe you. I believe you.
And so it just
you've seen it 3 times. I've seen it once.
it makes it feels like the director's approach is unrealistic and a lazy way out of the story. And I don't want to be misread here. I'm not saying race needs to be the main text of the story, but choosing to completely ignore it, to me, is a choice. And it low-key feels delusional in a way.
So I don't think he ignored it. I think he don't have the range.
We said this before. This is not the first
and that's no disrespect by any means. That's just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
He don't have that cultural range.
Yeah. He's Norwegian. He's not even from here.
I do think there's
I said he's Norwegian. He's not even from here. He don't even go here, bro.
There's that, but I do think there's also, right, because there's also a commentary being done in this film about school shootings, about access to guns and radicalization in the U.S. specifically. Yeah. I do think there's an attempt to do something around race at the pivotal scene in question where this disclosure comes up, and Alana Haim's character, who is a bitch, is
That's putting it lightly.
is noting that her husband, Mamadou, who really enjoyed his performance in this film. Yeah. I've loved him since he was in a film a number of years ago called Patty Cakes. I don't know if you saw Patty Cakes.
I haven't seen that. My only reference for him is when he played the sommelier in Uncorked.
Ooh, even that was a good meaty role. I forgot about that one because I was going to say that this role is probably one of his more meatier ones, but you're right. Uncorked is that girl. Anyway, he was great, but there's a moment in which his white wife is trying to note the similarities between his lived experience potentially and Zendaya's character's lived experience by saying like he grew up around guns or whatever it was. And I think that was an attempt to try to build some sort of racial, cultural something there. But also, I'm not sure he again had the range to go much further than that.
Than what was on the script,
Yeah, and so when you ask whose responsibility, you mentioned this 10 minutes ago, whose responsibility is it to bring that into the story? Respectfully, it certainly is not Zendaya's.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You know, if she don't got no producer credit, okay, if she don't have a co-written by credit,
I think that dynamic too with Alana Haim's character, it speaks to something else that's happening there in, I guess, an undertone, you can say, where she's trying to identify as the Black man she's chosen to marry as an exception to societal experiences. It's like, oh, he came from this hard place, so he was able to make better decisions than you were, Black woman. And I was just like, this is so familiar if you've ever been in a space with these types of couples, interracial couples. I know several episodes ago, I was like, this interracial agenda of 2025 is exhausting me. And it feels like, here we go again, because, you know, we find
You're
out.
not down with the swirl, Ray? You're not down with the swirl?
Listen, what I'm down
you know,
with
I got
and
me a
not
black
down
man.
with is,
Okay.
you know. Meanwhile, I ain't got no man, but you know what?
You are your own black man, okay?
What did Ray say? Can I get a ring? Would I get a ring? Whatever. Anyway, back on track. I just find this dynamic to be something that could have really beefed up this story in a way that I would have found really compelling. Like, I was like, this is a missed opportunity here to make this story something heftier than what it really was.
Yeah. You know what's also interesting to me is that the Alana Haim character, we doing spoilers, so I can say this, okay. So at the reception, when she's doing her maid of honor speech and she's like replaying, you know, in a joking but petty manner, she's like, she asked me to be the maid of honor. And I was like, where are your real friends?
Yes, yeah.
But also, where are your real friends? And where are your sister girls? Where are your...
That moment was like my realization that, oh, wow.
But also...
Emma is not is not the protagonist. Like, she's not the character that we're supposed to follow in this story. And that's why I had to go back and see the second time, because I was like, I need to watch this through the lens of Charlie.
It's Robert's movie.
Charlie's the protagonist, yes.
Yes, we haven't spoken about that white man at all.
But you know why we're here. We're here for the Black girl.
But it is, you're right, it absolutely is his movie. And unfortunately, that means that Zendaya is underserved. The character that she plays is underserved in this narrative because it actually is Robert Pattinson's movie. Yeah. And he's great in it. Yeah. He plays this character, I think, so well.
Yeah. I forgot he was a Twilight man. I was like, okay, come on, Batman.
Well, he still got that. There's a line in this movie where they're like, he looks like a vampire or something like that. I don't know if you remember that line, but I was like, we see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
So-
go ahead.
Let's actually do talk about his character a little bit, because everything that happens in this movie plot wise is in reaction to the reveal that Emma shares at the top of the movie. And I there were some things that happened that I was just like, how do we get here?
Yes, it didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
How do you spiral?
Yes.
Because the idea is right that your partner, because the concept that they're wrestling with here is like, do you really know the person you're about to marry?
Yeah.
Right. And so he spirals after hearing this information, so much so that somehow you decide to make out and fondle your coworker.
As the director of this department, like, he's not just an employee. Like, I don't even know that he was just the coworker or colleague of her. Like, there's an intentional point where the camera pans and you see the sign of his office that says head curator at Cambridge Art Museum. So I'm like, you're a person in power here, essentially fondling your superior, and that's not something that's made more of a big deal. It's more like, oh no, he kissed me. It's like, girl, this is also more complex here.
His inferior. Is that how you say it? Anyway, the person under him. You're not supposed to be doing that. Okay? And it there was something where that element of the storyline felt unmotivated to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, you know, I don't know. I think I said this on Pop Culture Happy Hour. I don't know. Is that what the men's are doing? Is that how men think? Is that what's going on? Like, does that make sense to y'all? Because when I was moonlighting as a man, it wasn't, you know, I don't know that I would have gone down the spiral to that direction.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. But maybe I'm missing something.
And the framing of this film, it kind of like, the reason why I said psychological thriller when I was trying to describe the genre of it is because it really did feel like his character, Charlie, was being put in like this place of horror about him being essentially marrying a woman who he finds out planned a school shooting, and that's like the horror element of it. And in my third watch is when I was like, it's like something clicked, and I was like, aha, this is a psychological thriller that's using social perception as the plot device to drive the protagonist mad.
Oh, interesting.
Because essentially his initial reaction to Emma's reveal at the dinner table with the four of them, it was like he laughed it off. But then the reaction of, I think her name's Rachel, Alana Haim's character, she's the one that really presses in how ridiculous this is. And you kind of see Charlie's reaction become more like, oh, this is something that is like horrific. And he starts to like come to a place of judgment of this thing, and it kind of like settles into him there, which also he had just shared his worst thing that I found to also be profoundly worse than Emma's, because after Rachel, who I think had the worst
because she locked
action.
the touch child into the closet and let him go.
Tre'vell. Did you? I have not heard someone reference touch in so long.
Well, you should get you a copy of Historically Black Phrases from I Ain't One of Your Little
Is
Friends
that
who
not a
all gonna be
problematic
there.
phrase?
It is. And also, it is a culturally resonant word.
Anyway, hers was the worst, but I think Charlie's was by far also really bad because both of them inflicted a level of mental trauma onto other people that people have to work through in their adulthood. Like he said that he, cyberbullied a kid so badly that his family had to move cities. And then he comes back and says he was 14 and everyone else at the table defends him saying, oh, you were just 14, and brushes it off. But the minute Emma comes in and shares that she had the idea of harming someone through a mass school shooting, and she says, I was just 15 then. It was like, you were 15. She doesn't have the same, she's not given the same grace and consideration and care that Charlie was given in that moment. And I'm just like, this is a movie about social perception, how our peers dictate the decisions we make and who we're able to partner with and how we're able to elevate in society socially or exist in society socially, honestly. And that's kind of like what I walked away from that with.
Yeah, I mean, I think what is interesting with what we actually see, and I think Brooke Obie said something to this effect as well in her Black Girl Watching newsletter reviewing the film. But what we're actually seeing is Robert Pattinson's character realize that the Black woman who he is supposedly in love with has the capacity, right, to be the complete opposite of what he thinks she is. Right? That she actually has the capacity to be the angry Black woman that nobody actually ever wants to be around. Right? I'm even thinking of some of the flashes of him as he learns more about what her motivations were at that time. And he starts replaying all of these different moments throughout their relationship where she had flashes of anger or frustration or being misunderstood. He starts flashing back to those as perhaps some kind of evidence, right, of her having this capacity to be, you know, the crazy Black bitch, right? And that is an interesting byproduct of this film's actual lack of legitimate grappling with her race. You know, because it doesn't do it textually, there's so much subtextual, you know, grappling.
Yes. As you're talking about this and the flashbacks being used as a device to recolor the character of Emma, do you know what this is bringing to mind to me? And I can't believe that I'm just now realizing this. This movie's plot is reminding me of like a darker white cousin to the plot of The Best Man. Remember in the week leading up to the wedding, the groom, played by Morris Chestnut, finds out some devastating news about like the proclivities between him and his best man, played by Taye Diggs, and his bride-to-be, played by Monica Calhoun. And it completely shatters the pure and untainted image that he had of his wife. And at least like this hilarious scene with him having a mental breakdown at the altar as he's realizing what's happening here. And it challenges like the bond of their friendship, their friend group with his best man, and it causes division within their friend group in like hella messy ways.
I see the familiarities.
Similar to what's happening.
The similarities.
Am I reaching, or do you see
you
it?
You are just a little, but I see why it came up for you. Because it is the whole idea of, you know, dropping into a relationship in the days leading up to a wedding and the hijinks ensue. And do you really know your partner? Right? Yes. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are going back and asking their partner, what's the worst thing you done ever did?
Have you
Or if I told you that the worst thing I ever did, no, I have not. If I told you that the worst thing I ever did was planned a mass shooting, but I did not execute it, would that change your thought of me?
To be honest, if it's someone I am in relationship with and already have an understanding of at this phase of life, as a friend, especially as a lover, for me, it would trigger more curiosity and like concern. Like, hey, what was going on there? As opposed to like me wanting to rush to judgment. I thought that was something that was just like, why is your first instinct or your first reaction to want to like distance yourself from this woman? I was like, oh, there's clearly we're finding out very quickly that this is not a strong friendship or relationship here. Because I can't fathom if my best friend, someone I asked to be my maid of honor, reacted to me that way. Like if my best man was just suddenly like, I don't even want to come to your wedding no more.
Well, they also not friends.
Which we find out in the speech.
Which we end up finding out. They're actually not friends at all.
Yeah.
And which makes it even more interesting. Yeah, you know, I find I think on its face and maybe one or two levels down, I find this movie super provocative in the ways that I'm super appreciative of art that is able to get us talking, to make us think, to get us to reevaluate and reconsider, you know, how we are showing up in our everyday communities, you know, and that is I think why I really enjoyed this film. Overall, you know, is because it is trying to do something, even though it's doing it fairly messily. And it doesn't even realize some of the things that it is doing. Or maybe it does, right? Maybe this Norwegian man know every single thing, and this is all super intentional or whatnot. But it was. I enjoyed it the one time I saw it as an experience, and you've seen it 3 times, and so I assume you.
It holds up, Tre'vell. Like I didn't expect to laugh as much as I was laughing in this movie, and when I say laughing, there were some scenes. Okay, speaking of scenes. Is there a scene that stood out to you? Because I know one that is at the top of my mind right now as I started thinking about things that made me laugh. So you know that I moonlight as a photographer every now and then.
Sure.
And baby, that photography scene hit me so hard.
Yeah.
Because the characters, Emma and Charles, they were in the thick of like sorting through their feelings about what they just discovered about each other or Emma. And we instantly we instantly get over to the scene with the photographer where they're essentially having like that last consultation before the wedding, going through the shot list. Yes. And she's going down the list of all the people she's going to shoot. I'm going to shoot this person, I'm going to shoot that person, I'm going to shoot that. And I thought it was such a clever way to kind of introduce the concept or parallel
to play with the guns.
Yes,
bang, bang.
Of shooting something and shooting people, especially your loved ones, in that way. And I just thought that was such a hilarious scene. I forget the actress name. Zoe Winters, I think is her name. She delivered that.
She always plays that kind of role, doesn't she? Like, I feel like I've seen her face before. She always plays that kind of, you know, and
she does it
comedic relief kind of moment. No, that was super funny, and the layers in that scene were particularly, probably something we shouldn't have been laughing at, but I
laughed my ass off.
But that is the interesting thing about this movie. Is that we all laughed at some things that we probably shouldn't have laughed at.
I laughed a little too long. You know,
and now it's incumbent upon us to figure out what we do with that. And I'm done, boss.
The scene I laughed too long at was after the father's speech, Emma's father's speech, and we have that moment of like that. We got a jump scare in this movie, Tre'vell, that I was not expecting. In that moment, and Rachel's reaction to the sound was so hilarious to me that I could not stop laughing. Like I had to like contain myself after that moment because I was laughing at the white girl being so spooked by the speaker going off and sounding like a gunshot as the father's talking about that. But in that moment too, we see something else happen that I found complex. Not to belabor the conversation, but instantly Charlie's character leans in and interrogates the father for keeping guns in the house, as if to like blame him or try to also blame him for Emma's access to the gun.
Well, and Robert Pattinson's character is British?
Question
mark?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's coming from a European, because that is a conversation I feel like we've heard international communities say before. Y'all just gonna be having guns in the house like that?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Yeah. And he also talks about how school shootings are a thing culturally in conversation at some point in the movie. So yeah, all of those things. I have so much more I can talk about with this movie, Tre'vell.
Absolutely.
But I think this is a healthy place to kind of like land the plane, would you say?
Yes. Okay, so should we get into our final verdicts on the drama? See it, skip it, or stream it? Ray Love Jr.
This is obviously a seated for me. Yeah, seated. I don't have to say nothing else. We've said enough.
Period. And you know, I'm right there with you. Seated. Go see it, y'all.
Yes.
Go see it. Because I just think it's provocative. And it has some problems. Do not get me wrong. But I love a provocative movie.
Same. I love a movie that also makes me laugh. So check this out and tell us what you thought, if you agree with our assessment, and tell us some other things that we could have gotten into. But for the sake of time, Tre'vell, let's move along and find out what the people are saying down to the Rotten Tomatoes. What is it giving?
Yes. So over on the tomato meter, it's giving mixed bag, FYI. Tomato meter, we're at 77%. Okay. That's 134 fresh reviews and 41 rotten. And then the popcorn meter, which is the audience, is at 81%. So slightly higher. Okay. And I would be somewhere around there.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely.
My initial reaction, my initial star rating was 4 out of 5 stars, and that seems to align with at least the popcorn meter. You know, the critics.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the discourse that the critics give things. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So what
and
about
I
the
love
black
that.
Critics? What they got to say?
And speaking of the black critics, I love the black voices that we've been hearing, particularly around this movie, and I'm sure there will be more to come. One critic that we will highlight this week is Brandon Lewis from fandomwire.com, who says in part, quote, "The drama successfully achieves its aim, testing the fortitude of a seemingly bulletproof relationship, pushing it and its audience to their extremes."
Oh, yes, we were pushed to our extremes, all right.
Okay.
Well,
my God.
That will do it for our review this week. Let us know what you thought about the drama in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes. And join the gang over at seatedshow.com. All right. Now, we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to be back with my favorite segment, Black Cinema Games, as well as what's giving us good vibes this week. We'll be right back.
Back again, and now it's time for my favorite segment this week and every week, Black Cinema Games.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes. All right, Tre'vell. So this week, with us having our leading lady Zendaya here for the drama, of course, the movie game segment has to be centered around her titular roles, or her roles in general. Are you prepared or familiar with our good sis's catalog? Don't be over there Googling either, child. I hear that mouse clicking.
I know a few. I know I'm responding to an email because, I don't know how to do one thing at a time. I know a few of the films, more recent. I don't quite recall any of the earlier stuff, perhaps. But let's see what I do. And you love to throw an animated picture up in the mix, so we see.
Because I figured you were hella familiar with our good sis, I was like, how can I make this a little bit more challenging for the dog? So this week, I'm calling this game the Z List, and it's a version of 5 on it. And essentially, we're going to go through 5 of Zendaya's films. You have to guess the films from just 3 very vague clues, I'll say. I'm going to give you the year, I'm going to give you the director, and I'm going to give you the character name. And if you need an extra, I'll give you a bonus clue. Only if you need it. Only if I need it.
I'm going to try not to need them this time. I'm going to try, because since you say you made the clues hard and stuff, I'm going to see what I can do. Let's see.
Just because, all her movies are basically within like the past 5 or 10 years.
I was just about to say, I feel like I was present, so let's do it.
Present. You know, you've really been working out here in these critical streets, and so I'm like, I know Tre'vell seen every single one of these. All right,
okay,
are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so we're guessing Zendaya's films from 3 vague clues with the Z list. First clue. The year this movie came out was 2017. The director was John Watts. The character name is Michelle Jones Watson. Do you think you got it?
No. No, I have no clue. Michelle Jones Watson.
Yes, I can give you
2018?
I can give you a bonus clue if you need it.
Michelle Watson? That's not Spider-Man. She played the other girl in Spider-Man.
Do you want the bonus clue?
Sure. Oh, yes. Bonus clue. Go bonus clue.
And I need the full movie title for you to qualify for this.
Oh, that means it's long.
The bonus clue, her co-star names, her black co-star names, I'm just going to give you the black co-stars of these films, are Donald Glover, Laura Harrier, and Bokeem Woodbine.
Bokeem?
This is the second time you got tripped up with Bokeem in a clue.
The legend Bokeem. Bokeem don't be popping out nowhere, though. That's why I'm like, Bokeem. Oh, Laura Harrier and Donald Glover. I don't know. This sounds like an animated. I don't know.
There's animation involved in the post of some sorts, but
I don't know.
It's live action.
Answer? What's the answer?
I almost had it earlier. You mentioned it earlier a little bit, but that's why I said I need a full movie name.
Oh, I don't know. It's not Spider-Man?
Yes, but that's not the full name.
Homecoming.
Yes, I knew we could get you there. We just had to walk you up to it a little bit.
You sure did. You sure did. Okay, now I thought that, but I thought she played what's the white girl character name?
MJ. Michelle Jones.
Oh, that's crazy.
I told you I had to make this a little medium for you.
Wow, because I couldn't remember. Wow. See.
You got to pay attention in this game, child. You got to pay attention.
Y'all see how he did me?
But you still got it. So,
Yeah. Let's go to the next question, please.
All right, you got one on the board. Our next film premiered in 2024. The director is Denis Villeneuve. The character name is Shani. Do you think you got it?
Oh, wait. Villeneuve. That's not... Uh-oh.
Denis Villeneuve.
So I didn't see this movie. I can tell you that now. I think, is this one of the Dune movies?
It is.
Okay. Okay, because she in the TV show. The TV show directed by somebody else.
No, TV show, she's not in it. I don't think Timothy is in it either. But
okay.
I will give you this one because it is a bit
Dune 2, The Last Odyssey or something.
Dune Part 2. And I'm so glad I didn't have to give you the bonus clue because, baby, these black character names are complex.
Oh yeah, I have not seen that movie, that franchise, that series. No, nothing.
It's good, Tre'vell. It's good, and I think you should definitely see it before the end of the year because we will be doing an episode about it.
Because the new one's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So you got 2 points on the board. Are you ready to continue on into the Z list?
Let's do it into the Z list.
All right. This film came out in 2021. The director is Malcolm D. Lee. The character name is Lola. Do you have it?
Malcolm D. Lee?
Yes.
Zendaya ain't been in no Malcolm D. Lee movie. I'm so sorry because she don't do movies. Hold on. Malcolm D. Lee.
And I can give you bonus. I have a bonus clue for this too if you need
Lola. I know this.
Do you need the
No, I know this. This is
the whole
Space
title.
Jam sequel. It's come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me. This is the Space Jam sequel.
Yeah,
Space
you got
Jam
it.
2 or whatever.
It's Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'm gonna give it to you just because.
Okay,
that was
because no shade. I was like, she ain't been in no Malcolm D. Lee product. Because Malcolm do no shade. This is no shade.
It is all shade. Apparently.
This is no shade. But Malcolm do black movies.
Are you saying Space Jam: A New Legacy is not a black movie?
No. I'm saying that Zendaya,
girl. Let's get it right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you said them two names together, I had a conniption, but I like that I know this.
Yes.
She was Lola Bunny.
Yeah, it was not a. I wish they would have left this one alone.
They
LeBron
should
ain't got
have.
the range. It just the story. It wasn't needed. Like Space Jam was a fully complete movie, if you ask me. Anyway, you got 3 points on the board. You're doing
Yes.
well, even when I try to make this thing hard. But we still got 2 more to go. Are
You
you
be
ready
trying to
for
play
your next
me.
one? No, I just be trying to make you play the game.
Sure.
All
What's
right.
number 4?
This 4th film premiered in 2024. The director is Luca Guadagnino, and the character name is Tashi.
Well, yes, Tashi Duncan. This is obviously Challengers.
Yes,
Okay,
I
a
love
lovely
this
movie.
Yes, indeed. I love Challengers. It was one of my favorites that year.
It was
for
a
sure.
great movie.
Yes,
Great movie.
All right. Well, last but not least, we have the last movie premiering in 2017. The director is Michael Gracie, and the character name is Anna Wheeler. You still got a bonus clue if you need it.
I don't.
I refuse to
I'll
let this
take
be
the
the one
clue.
that trips you up, child.
I'll
The
take the
bonus
clue.
clue. The black castmates in this film is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Kassan Brailsford, you know, Beyonce's former background dancer.
Oh, okay.
This is one of like Zendaya's like first on-screen acting roles, if not the first. I don't think it was the first. Well, on-screen as in theatrical releases.
Oh, so yeah. I don't know.
Oh God, Tre'vell.
Don't be disappointed. This is what you wanted.
This is not what I wanted, but this film
is
is The Greatest Showman.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Well, because you
Yes.
know there weren't too many black people in that,
Which is why I was like, this
yes, this is me.
I don't want to hear that song ever again. Please, let's leave that
You
song
didn't
where it
mention.
was.
Oh, you didn't mention Kiala Saddle. Ain't she black?
She's
She played the
Maori.
bearded lady.
She's Maori, I believe, which is the New Zealand native people. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we
okay.
call
Well, we
that
could have
black?
claimed. We could have claimed her, but I don't. I don't listen. Okay, how you doing?
Race is a construct. Identify how
But
you please.
yes, it is. But shout out to Kiala Saddle. I love that movie. Dang.
I love that movie, but I'm sick of that song. I can't tell you how many drag performances I have seen of This Is Me. I'm so sick of that damn song.
Oh, I love that song. I've not seen a lot of drag performances because I don't, you know. But I love that song. That's one of my pump me up songs.
What we pumping? Anyway, all right.
Ooh,
you did
now how
good,
you
Tre'vell.
doing?
You got 4 out of 5 in this week's Black Cinema Game. Shout out to you. I think that's worth a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes. Now let's move along into our Good Vibes Only segment where we're sharing the things that are giving us good vibes this week. Do you want to go first?
I would love to go first, okay? My girls at the Real Housewives of Atlanta are back. Okay.
Really?
Yes, the new season just premiered, and now I'm a loyalist. I've watched every single season since the beginning. I'm gonna watch it to the running to the ground.
A true
It's my my franchise of choice, right? But this season, at least this very first episode, I was like, oh my God, I needed this. Okay. First and foremost, okay, K. Michelle is a new housewife.
Yes, and you know that's my rattler sister. Shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
Fam
yeah.
U.
You and the snakes and the round. Yeah. Anyway, K. Michelle is one of the new housewives. Her on this first episode, oh my God, loved it. Okay. Phaedra is back, okay, on full time on the show.
Shady Faye.
And Phaedra just is good television. She know what she doing, okay? And, you know, it's just so good. And then there's a few other people, you know, in the Portia, you know, she been there for the last few seasons, you know. But it just felt so fun. The first episode felt so fun. And I was like, oh my God, we needed this. And I think K. Michelle's gonna be that good little extra country spice, but also a little ratchetry, you know, that fits right well into the Housewives. And so, Good Vibes Only, my recommendation is dive back into Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think this season is going to be a nice, fun, kind of reset of sorts. Because some of the old girls are still there, older girls are still there, but there's a lot of new faces.
Child, I've been so deep in the drama that I didn't even realize Housewives is back. So I'm going to tap in because I want to support K. Michelle, of course, and also with all that we've been seeing across social media with Pinky Cole and her
and filing for bankruptcy and stuff.
I'm curious. I'm like, let's see how this mess plays out. That makes
it's covered in the show. Apparently, there was a preview clip of her talking about it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. So y'all check out Real Housewives of Atlanta on the Peacock and the Bravo. Okay,
already got it queued up.
I think it's Peacock. That's Peacock.
Yeah,
okay.
NBC. Yes. All right. So
now, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation this week is going to be Where in the World is LawDo? Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have.
So this is Law Roach's YouTube channel / vlog. I guess vlogs making another swing at things. Mm-hmm. And the title Where in the World is LawDo is a play on Where in the World is Waldo. And essentially we're following the acclaimed style architect, which is copywritten or trademark.
Image architect. Okay.
Image architect. Yes, get me together. Throughout his intercontinental journey as he's styling his celebrity clients for the world's most talked about red carpet events and appearances. And of course, he includes his run with styling Zendaya with her press run for the drama. And so find this on YouTube. I think his YouTube handle is Luxury Law. I've really been enjoying this. And on the episode titled Law Roach Spends March 2026 in NYC, we get a little background of how Zendaya's red carpet premiere theme came to be with something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. And he expounds on this theme in the most recent episode that was uploaded titled I've Been Ready for the Smoke. And we get a deeper context into the how of it all coming together. And I just have to say, as someone who came online culturally during like the DVD extras, features, and music documentary era, I salivate over any and all media that gives me like a peek into the BTS and process of an artist's approach to things, that especially things that we're seeing kind of like pop off into the culture. And I also want to shout out Mikhail Street, who I know you have another show with, who's the co-executive EP or co-executive producer for this, and our boy Chris Rogers. He actually was a videographer and editor of the first episode. So I've been enjoying watching this. It's been like a cool return to watching YouTube vlogs again from like a celebrity's vantage point. So yeah, that's gonna be my good vibe.
Yes, shout out to Michael and Chris, who both worked. Michael was my co-host. Chris was our producer for Black Queer Canon. Yes. Okay, which you can check out right here on the Slay John YouTube page. Yes. Praise the Lord. But shout out to them. Yes, I've been loving all of the social content that Law's been doing lately. Yeah. And so shout out to them.
Yes. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Seated. We are so excited to be back with you all. Make sure you come back next week because we're going to have a special treat for you all. And I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to tap in and see what that is. Tre'vell, anything you want to leave the people with or share?
In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, share the show with your friends, and we will see you all, or some of you all, over on the Patreon, okay? Yes. Seatedshow.com/join.
Yes, see you at the movies. If you enjoyed this episode, share with a friend. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and tap that subscribe button. And if you're listening, give us a 5-star rating and review us in your podcast app or wherever you're tapping in today. It'll really help folks find us as we grow. Seated is an independently funded production, and your support can help us go further. Consider becoming a card-carrying member of the Seated Movie Club at seatedshow.com/join, where we'll bring you more of this popcorn-worthy content, special events, and more. And how do we do all that we do? Well, you know it's not by ourselves. Our theme music was created by Buckroll and animation by Ashung Adi, with creative consulting by Jade Fox and publicity support by House of Heralds. This week's episode was edited by me, Ray Love Jr. Seated is a co-production of Slay John and 5011 Media. It's hosted and produced by Tre'vell Anderson and Ray Love Jr. and filmed on location at the Walk Good Yard. See you at the movies. Holla! We just saw the drama. What would you give it out of 5 stars?
I will give it a 4 out of 5. It kept me up. I did not fall asleep. I normally fall asleep in a movie. Plot twist on plot twist on plot twist. But it's a must-see. Definitely come see it again.
Do you think Emma deserved the smoke?
No, and I feel like she should have gave the smoke to Charlie just a little bit more.
Okay, there you have it. The drama. What a girl is there. Sorry.
Girl.
For some reason, I just thought about Layla Hathaway, and you know how she harmonizes her.
Okay, and you know what? It was pretty close. I heard it. I heard them chords. Okay.
I don't know why the hell I did that.
Now that's your vocal stem. It's Layla Hathaway.
Because I was just looking at the video I posted from her Truth Awards performance when she was singing. Damn, what song was that? Singing a song for you. And so that's why she's top of mind. My God, today. Okay.
Now she knew she could have given us like one more track. I mean, I know what was contracted. Okay, this ain't the AKAs. You know, I know she do what was contracted. I
cannot believe them Akkas had Trick Daddy Dollars down to their professional conference.
Girl. Listen.
There's only one
this is
song
like
that is
NABJ
even-
having Uncle Luke, no shade.
I mean,
No shade. And he
Uncle
also
Luke is
showed
also
his
running for
behind.
Congress.
He also showed his behind. Let the record reflect. Okay. Now he running for Congress or something, ain't he?
Yeah. I mean, but he fought for what is it? Parental advisory at the highest court.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
has
did.
some type
Or
of
whatever.
decorum about himself.
Sure.
Trick Daddy ain't never, in
Sure.
the days that I've known him growing up in Miami, had any level of decorum. Okay.